Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. This is,
Kylie, what's up?
yeah, we're getting ready to go out and put some more Christmas lights up on houses today. It's a perfect day. Beautiful day. What is it, about 52 degrees, overcast, semi-cloudy. Our favorite kind of day to get out there and hoof it and work it around. And all I want to talk today about flying the flag and a little experience that I had yesterday. But first of all, apparently, there are a couple of you out there who think that she's prettier than I am. That hurt. Wes,
Mm.
you know, she just wrote a song, and she just played the recording of it for me. Now, what you all may not know about her is that she plays the guitar, she plays the piano, she plays a number of things. She plays them beautifully, and pretty much self-taught. Although she's had people give her some tips and things like that. And she just bought yesterday, I guess it was, a baritone guitar. Now, many people probably aren't familiar with baritone guitars. I played the guitar back when I was a kid, and I played it very poorly. Back in those days, I got myself an electric guitar back when everybody was into that kind of thing, and I learned the three chords that would allow you to play Satisfaction, Gloria, and House of the Rising Sun, and I thought I was all that, and just like every other kid, but we weren't squat. She is. She got a touch, and anyway, she got this baritone guitar, and she plays the kind of music that I like, which is swamp blues. Now that's not all she plays. But matter of fact, I'm going to have her play background music for a new kind of entry to the channel whenever we get a chance. But anyway, she played that for me, and she didn't bring her guitar. So she's going to bring it tomorrow, and I'm going to make her play it for you all. and I think you're going to like it. It's beautiful. Anyway, flying the flag. I went to yesterday. My daughter, her soccer team, was playing the last game of the season, and so her coach had a little tailgate thing over his house before we went to the game. And of course, all the girls were excited because they had clinched first place, and even if they lost last night's game, they were still going to take first place in their conference. And so they were having a good time, and they weren't yet undefeated because they still could have got defeated, but they turned out winning the game. So they are now champions, first place, undefeated. So they had a good time.
He wants to say goodbye.
Hang on half a second. Got a technologically advanced message from my son, who just sent a text to her phone because he saw that I was on this phone. So he'd like me to pause this so he can tell me goodbye because he just headed out somewhere. Be right back. Okay, I think I did that right. My oldest son was headed someplace special. I wanted to say goodbye. What a great thing. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. Yeah, I did it. Yes, it is. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we went to this. So my daughter's team, they did end up undefeated, champions, and all that. But anyway, the whole point of this was we went to this tailgating, and this is a when you go with groups around here, you're never quite sure the type of person that you're going to be running into if there are people that you don't know. Because everybody keeps this socially acceptable face on in public. She introduced me to the term some time ago. What was it? Person face?
Person suit.
Person suit. That's right. What is a person suit?
The face you put on for other people.
Right. Okay. So while you want to be the chameleon out here, everybody pretty much acts the same way. I don't do a real good job of that myself, but most people do. So as I went to this thing, and as I said maybe last week or the week before, I bought this sweatshirt. Let me roll her down here. Never Give Up the Fight, 1776. I think you all remember that. And so I'm wearing this a lot. And I wear it a lot to kind of start um, conversations, to identify people, to draw people to me who, are attracted to this. And something like this is a lot better than those, black t-shirts. She got me a very nice black t-shirt the other day that I really like. But it's the kind that kind of throws it in your face, and there are a lot of those out there. Uh, I wear this to kind of attract people to me, to see what it is opening the door for conversation, for comments, and drawing people who may feel the way that I do, and starting conversations. Anyway, so this woman comes up, and she talks to us for a few minutes. It was a nice big spread. All the parents, all the everybody acting exactly right, having all the conversations, all the small talking conversations that I don't do well at. And so I was standing there with Kelly and talking to a couple of people. This woman came up, and very outgoing. Turned out she had been. I asked her after a couple of minutes, because she had talked about her time living in New York. And after a few minutes listening to her, I said, "Were you in theater or something like that?" And she gave a big laugh and says, "How did you guess?" Because she was one of these just effusive, out there, just performing all the time. And right now, many of you are probably saying, "Ew, that's not my, cup of tea or whatever." Well, she went on talking, and finally she kind of lowered her voice a little bit, and she said, "I like your sweatshirt." I said, "Really? You like that?" And boy, the conversation started. Now, here is a person, I think she was from around here, I don't remember, but she moved to New York, and she was in the theater business and everything for years, and then ended up moving back here. And as you can imagine, living in New York City and being in the theater, you can imagine what kind of people she was surrounded by. And she started talking about that. And she did kind of keep her voice down. And I made the comment, as she started saying how this country was going to hell, and all the things that had been surrounded with in New York and in the theater and all that. She really got to going. You would have thought you were listening to one of my videos, because she was reflecting all of those thoughts that you all and I talk about all the time. Um, a lot came of that. And the funny thing was, is as she started talking, you could see she was looking around and kind of lowered her voice when she was talking about how this country is going to pot. And, maybe, well, no reason to go into that. You all can imagine the conversation. And I remarked, I said, isn't it funny that those of us who feel like that, not me, but so many who feel like we do, lower our voices when we start to express those opinions, to whereas the other side raises their voices when they want to make one of their little ridiculous quasi-morality statements, at which either they'll get a whole lot of bobbing heads or people just being quiet. Because if we stand up and say something, you're calling for incoming, right? Or you're calling for people to want to stay away because they don't want, even if they might agree with you a little bit, they don't want that incoming to see them, as a potential target also. But we talked about that, and she agreed, that hey, it's time for us to be a little bit louder, a little bit prouder, get this information out there, place ourselves out there in a way that stirs more conversation and more assertive, maybe aggressive. I don't know, whatever you want to do, whatever fits you is right. More assertively taking our positions and our stands out to the public. Actually, I got some business out of it too. I think we got a couple of pieces of a nice business out of being at this group. So anyway, my main thing here is flying the flag. Take it out there. Don't I'm not saying, start arguments with people at all, because arguments drive people away, and that's not our purpose. Our purpose should be to attract people to our position, to our side, identify those, because there are so many people out there. If you knew where I lived, you would think that it was nothing but a bunch of patty cakes, right? But it's not. There are some hardcore conservative, and there are some hardcore preppers out here. Okay, I know more. I would say that there is a larger percentage of hardcore preppers in this really nice suburban neighborhood out here per capita than I see in the small towns or in the country. So you'd be surprised. But get out there. You're able to make contact, and now we've made a couple of really nice contacts. We know people who think like we do, and that, I won't go into all the different ways that can manifest, but it's good, and that's what we need to do. So, when you're out there, I do suggest get something, wear something, start identifying in kind of um, um, a way that can't be attacked, because this is what the other side did. You know how they used their ridiculously soft, uh, 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 positive sounding jargon, to pull people. They name things. Children's Defense Fund. Well, who can argue with children? Who can argue with defense, right? All these kinds of things that are covered for these blatantly socialist organizations. And that's what we have to do. Too often we get out there, and people who represent us, we're in these aggressive, the Tree of Liberty. I mean, I have those T-shirts. The Tree of Liberty must be, and the Gadsden stuff and things like that. And it doesn't really attract people. And the people that you would want to identify, you probably already know anyway. Okay, so that's what I would say. Start flying the flag. Start wearing positive stuff. Who can argue with never give up? Because no parent raises their kid saying, as he goes out to the game or whatever, say, okay, Johnny, make sure you give up, right? Okay. Never give up. You can't argue with that, okay? Never give up the fight, right? American flag. Who can argue? Well, some can argue with that. The commies can argue with that, But this is historical. This is about history. So this is just my advice. If we get more and more, I'm going to wear this every day that I can, because it, like I said, it draws people. It helps meet people. It promotes the thoughts. And we need to do that, and we need to know who else is out there that needs a little support, because so many of the people that feel like we do feel isolated, and they're so happy. They'll come up and say, well, I am so happy to know that there's somebody else that feels like I do. Okay. Would you like to add anything? I hesitate to ask, because now, when she starts talking, she's just going to draw all of the attention away from all the brilliant things that I've said, right? and Wes won't remember anything. Neither will Bug Out, because she's sitting here. I'm teasing. You always have good things to add. Is there anything that you would like to? You awake yet?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I've been called intense before, quite a few times, because of how I believe. But also, I'm also in a different generation, so people in my generation feel more attacked. But I don't care. I wear my flag I have like 5 flags in my house, just to begin with. Every room.
She's lost a friend over a flag she has in her house.
I have.
The battle flag.
Yep. Anyway, so I just had a flag shirt on yesterday, actually. But I have a lot of clothes like that, and I wear it, and it draws people in, and you start talking to people and sharing your views, and they share their views, and then you find a lot of anti-jabbers.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's more of a comment than anything. There's not really anything else to add from me there. You kind of covered it all.
Well, she's going to be back tomorrow and play a song for you all. And you're going to like it. I can't wait. So anyway, we're going to go out and do some work and have a great time today. Hope you all do too. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I think one of the best things we can do to prepare today is to take our message out there in a way that's appealing, that's attractive, and is supportive, and get all of the people out there who may feel alone to understand they're not alone. There are a whole bunch of us out here, and we need to get together and start making more noise in the kind of way we need to. So you all have a good day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow.